Hi. Hello, friends. Thank you so much for joining me today. So today's flow is going to be about 25 minutes, kind of just a full total body flow. And I'm really excited that you're here with me today to join in with me. A couple things when practicing with me, please remember that I am just here as a guide, and I want you to do whatever feels good in your body, whatever your body and your breath lead you to do. So please remember, I am only here as a guide, which I enjoy very much, but don't feel like you have to do everything I say or everything I'm doing. Secondly, if you feel inclined, and I always encourage, put some music on. Put something on that makes you feel good, that helps you connect with yourself, helps you connect with your breath. Please feel free to do that. So we're going to start today in a reclined bound angle pose, so Supta Baddha Konasana. So coming onto your back and placing the feet together to touch so that the knees fall out to the side. And you can adjust how close the heels are to your body. The further away they are, the less pressure on the hips there's going to be. Taking some deep breaths in this reclined posture. Maybe starting with some deep breaths out the mouth. So bringing in some open mouth exhales. And using those open mouth exhales as a clear dropping of the past, that which we cannot change, is no longer relevant in this present moment. And then after you feel like you've arrived, released any tension, anything holding you back, start to close the mouth and breathe in and out through the nose. And once again, maybe you find some powerful releases here. And once you've taken a few breaths like this with the mouth closed, if it's in your practice, start to activate your Ujjayi breath. So creating a slight constriction in the back of the throat as you exhale, almost as if you were trying to fog a mirror right in front of your face. Once this Ujjayi breath is activated, you'll notice a different sound, a different texture to your breath. The Ujjayi breath creates heat within the body. It is a powerful tool to keep us present with ourselves, with our breath, with our environment. lot of times the sound resembles that of an ocean. Waves crashing along the shoreline. And then they get pulled back in by the tide, only to crash again. Creating this mental image in your third eye, in the forefront of your mind, of waves crashing, being pulled in by the tide. Becoming in sync with that image, linking the breath with the movement of the waves. Take 3 more very conscious breaths here in this shape. Keeping that ocean image, that water image at the forefront of your mind. Slowly start to push your knees together, letting the feet come back to the mat as if you were closing a book. And bring the knees in towards the chest, wrapping the hands around them. Start to rock back and forth, or maybe make some circles with your knees, giving that lower back a little massage. Place the right foot down on the mat, stepping the left foot up towards the sky. Stretching that left hamstring here, so grabbing behind the leg wherever's comfortable but challenges you today. And really pushing up through that left foot, flexing the foot up towards the sky, really creating some energy in that back part of your left leg. Keeping both glutes on the ground. Sending breath to the left hamstring. Staying with your Ujjayi breath. And on your next exhale, start to bring that foot down so you can grab it with your left hand, bending the knee, coming into half happy baby. So pulling that left knee in towards the left armpit. Breathing space into the left outer hip. Maybe you find a little bit of rocking movement here. Placing the left foot down on the mat. Start to lift the right leg up towards the sky. Once again, flexing that right foot, really reaching through the foot, really shooting energy out of the bottom of your foot up towards the sky. Doesn't matter if the leg gets straight. This is more of an energetic action. And on your next exhale, start to bring that foot down to meet the hand, coming into half happy baby on the right side. So as we start to awaken our body today for our flow, I'd like you to focus on trying some new things on the mat today. New doesn't have to be something big and different and scary. It can just be as simple as a new arm position in a certain pose. But this practice of exploring and trying something new, just notice how it feels. Notice what happens in that experience. Place that right foot down on the mat as well. Bring the knees back into the chest and slowly start to roll along the length of your mat on your spine. And once you gain enough momentum, flip over into a tabletop position. In this tabletop position here, once you find a neutral spine, have a strong base, start to move through some cat and cow movements with the breath. So inhale, dropping the heart, or dropping the belly, lifting the heart up. Exhale, rolling through the spine, cat pose. Inhaling to cow, and exhaling into cat. So freedom to explore, permission to be curious in these shapes, finding what your body would like to do in this tabletop position today. Maybe that means trying something new. Maybe not. When you're ready, find a neutral spine. Slowly start to straighten the legs as you send your hips back into our first downward facing dog. So begin to walk your dog, lifting one heel, placing the other down, rocking the hips from side to side. Maybe it feels good here to shake the head. Yes. To shake the head, no. Maybe to release the neck and just kind of let it move in some circles. Noticing how the Ujjayi breath feels in an inverted position. On your next breath in, start to lift your left leg up towards the ceiling. Pausing for a moment just to feel the length in the body here. Exhale, using the core to bring it up in between the hands. Placing the right knee down, the back knee down. Inhaling up for a low crescent lunge. Taking one more breath here. On your next exhale, bring the hands down to frame that front foot. Stepping back into plank. Lowering all the way down to the belly with control. Inhaling up for a low cobra. Exhale, sending the hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the right leg up towards the sky this time. Pausing to notice the length in the body. Exhale, really using and engaging the core slowly to bring it up in between the hands. Placing the back knee down. Inhale, rising the arms up towards the sky. Low crescent. One more breath in this position. Exhale, putting the hands down on the mat, stepping back into plank. Slowly lowering all the way down to the belly. Inhaling up for baby cobra pose, heart opener. Exhale, sending the hips back into downward facing dog. Inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. Really feeling the length here. And as you exhale, start to open up that hip. So bending the left knee, keeping it up in the air. Really opening up through that left hip. And maybe if it feels good for you today, you try flipping your dog. So bringing that left foot to the ground, turning onto the knife edge of that right foot, lifting the hips up towards the ceiling. Creating space in the front of the body here. If this isn't in your practice today, you can always stay in that three-legged dog or downward facing dog. One more breath here. On your exhale, start to flip back into a plank position and send the hips back for downward facing dog. On your next breath in, lift the right leg up towards the sky. Starting to open up that right hip. So bending that right knee, maybe taking a couple circles, rolling out the ankle. If you'd like to explore a little bit more, start to flip your dog on your right side. So bringing those right toes to the ground behind you, coming up on the knife edge of that left foot, lifting up through the hips. One more breath here. On your next exhale, start to roll back over into a plank position. Lowering through a vinyasa. Inhaling up to upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, sending the hips back for downward facing dog. Let's take a moment here to release our Ujjayi breath just for a moment and take an open mouth exhale here. So just releasing, letting go of anything that you feel is holding you back in this practice today. So let's take a big, deep inhale here. Open mouth exhale, let it out. Let's do one more of those. Deep breath in. Open mouth, exhale, let it go. Inhale, lift the left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, swing it up in between the hands. Inhale, rooting to rise, lifting the arms up, warrior one pose. So rooting down through that back foot, hips facing the front of the mat. Finding some strength here, some power in this warrior pose. So with this idea of trying something new, maybe you find something new to do with your arms. Maybe you don't just lift them up towards the sky. Maybe you find a heart opener with some cactus arms. Maybe it feels good to interlace the hands behind at your low back. Or maybe you just take a different shape entirely. Maybe it feels good to twist, to bend. Whatever feels good here, take time to do that, to try something new without passing judgment on yourself. Inhale, coming back to warrior one, arms lifted up towards the ceiling. Exhale, opening up into warrior two. Noticing how empowering it can feel to take charge of your choices, to take charge of how you want to move, how you want to do things. And not just doing what you think you should do, doing what you've done before, but really exploring something new. Inhale, straighten the legs and point the toes towards the long edge of your mat as you lift your arms up overhead. Exhale into a wide-legged forward fold. Start to walk the hands out in front of you for a wide-legged downward dog variation. So just walking your hands out in front of your mat. and really pushing through the fingertips, sending the hips back, feeling that stretch. Slowly start to walk the hands back. Keeping the left hand planted on the ground, inhale, lift the right arm up towards the sky, twisting through the spine. Feeling the opposition here as the left hand is pressed into the ground and the right arm is reaching up towards the sky above you. Feeling these dualities exist together. Exhale, bring that right hand back down to the ground. Plant the right hand in. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Twisting from the center of the body here. Staying connected with that Ujjayi breath even in this twisted position. Exhale, bring that left hand down. Start to walk the hands over towards the right side as you turn your right foot to face the back of your mat. Framing that right foot with your hands facing the back of your mat. Inhale, lifting up for Warrior One on the right side. So once again, in this shape here, you have your freedom to explore, your freedom to try something new. Knowing this permission is always available to us, both on and off the mat. When we're connected with our hearts, when we're connected with ourselves, and we want to try something new, there's always something that can be learned there, something that can be explored there. It's almost like this part of us that we haven't met yet, knocking on our door. Taking 2 more breaths here. On your next exhale, opening up into Warrior Two. So finding some stillness in this Warrior Two pose. Really energetically reaching out through the arms in opposite directions. Stretching through the fingers. Feeling yourself expand and take up space. Inhale, turn the toes to face the long edge of your mat, lifting the arms up. Start to heel toe the feet in a little bit. We're going to be coming down into Malasana, a yogi squat. So bringing the feet in a little bit. Inhale, lifting up, and exhale, coming all the way down into Malasana. So really dropping that low back towards the ground, opening up the inner hips. And then letting gravity just pull the spine down as you hold yourself up with your feet. Coming back to that Ujjayi breath we activated in the beginning of the practice if you lost it. Noticing how it's always there, always available to us. We just have to look for it. Slowly start to come to a seat. We're going to come into some seated spinal twists here. So pulling that left heel in towards the right glute. So the left knee is facing straight out. Bring the right leg over the left, kind of in a pretzel position. Both glutes stay on the ground. Start to lift the left arm up as you place the right hand behind you at the base of your spine and twist to the right. So this twist is kind of a doubly good twist. You can feel some space in that outer right hip being created, and obviously a nice detoxing twist in the spine, wringing out any stagnant energy that isn't serving us in this moment. Inhale, come back to center, switch the legs. So leg that was on top this time, pull that heel in towards the opposite glute. Place the leg that was on bottom on top. Put that foot on the ground. Inhale, lifting up, creating space, really lifting the crown of the head up. And exhale, start to twist to the left. So in our twist, it's this constant action of inhaling, rising through the crown of the head to create space, and exhaling, moving into that space, twisting into that space. It's a gentle movement, though, no straining. One more breath. Exhale, come back to center. Come into a comfortable seat, easy seat pose. Place the hands wherever is comfortable for you. Maybe on the knees in some way, or maybe you put them on the belly, on the heart. Start to drop your Ujjayi breath here. So let the breath go. And just start to breathe at your normal pace. Taking the time here to pause. Such a powerful thing to do, taking time to pause. To connect to the greatest teacher we all have that lives within. We've created the space and the breath, cleared the mind to allow a pathway to connect to that teacher within. What is something that teacher is telling you to try? Maybe there's something new for you today that you can learn, that you can experience, that you can listen to, you can read. What is something new that's calling to you today? Taking both the hands in front of the heart, palms together in Anjali Mudra. Feeling your life source, your prana beating beneath your thumbs. Honoring the greater self within, which is the greater self within all of us. It is a oneness, just like the ocean. Different waves, all within the same, different drops, all within the same ocean, living and breathing together. The light and the dark within me truly sees, honors, and loves the light and the dark inside of each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. Bet you didn't know I had a little partner over here. Kona, come here. Kona, come here. You were hiding. Thank y'all so much for joining me today. It truly is just my pleasure to move and breathe with you. I love y'all. I'll see you next time.